rest with Irriset. Sistine Demon has his sights on the judge first at the 300. He corners up by a length and 3/4. Sweetest Rose about to throw out the judge. Reservation. On the outside, Sweetest Rose. Oliver and Roddenach. Dynamic battle up the straight, nothing between them. 3 lengths away, Reparations. Sweetest Pro and Sistine Demon's coming back. Sistine Demon, Sweetest Pro.
The Australian horse racing industry has been shaped more than anything else by the Australian bush. Maybe this is why taking a roughie from the farm and seeing it win against highly fancied rivals remains such a pipe dream in Australian racing. Darren Weir, or Weiry as he is known in country racing circles, is living that dream. But it isn't just his success that makes him unusual. It is also the fact that this unabashedly country bloke has now chalked up 11 country titles, back-to-back Victorian Trainers Premierships, and now has also added the unthinkable to his CV, the Melbourne Metropolitan Trainers Premiership. Maybe that is why Weiry has some of the most prominent city connections beating a path to his door, in the hope that some of the magic will rub off. That magic also seems to be transferred to his team members, not just his legendary work ethic, but his care factor of being completely across the horses and totally accessible to owners. With 70 staff, up to 100 horses in work at any one time, and stables at Ballarat and Warrnambool, it is now a big operation. And a look at the scoreboard confirms just how far the boy from Berriwillock has come.
Well, the great thing about growing up in the country is the lifestyle. There was always something to do at home on the farm, you know, riding horses, riding motorbikes or fishing and that sort of stuff. And yeah, just loved the lifestyle at all, and it just suited how I wanted to grow up. Mum and Dad, they never stopped me from doing anything. You know, that was our whole family in general. Whatever we wanted to do, we were allowed to do and had the support of. And yeah, I obviously didn't like driving tractors and that sort of thing, so I wasn't going to stay on the farm as a sort of a grain grower, but I love the animal side of it. So yeah, when I went and sort of worked in the stables at Birchip, I knew what I wanted to do, and then they supported me the sort of whole way through if we never ever needed anything.
In the 2013-2014 season, Darren Weir Racing saddled up 253 winners nationally, with 95 of those in the city and the remaining 158 in his backyard.
Well, the people behind, you know, my success, it all started in a place called Birchip with the Coffey family. A mate of mine, Osty, it was his brother that had a stud and a horse breaking and trained a few horses as well at a place called Birchip. And yeah, Osty told me to go and work there in the school holidays, and I did that and never went back to school. And then from there I went up to Mildura and worked for John and June Castleman, and John had this great knack of training being able to get older, sort of not so much broken down horses, but horses with problem going and winning races. So you know, they were two very important people, and then obviously the person that really taught me to train a winner was Terry O'Sullivan. Yeah, he just had this great knack of being able to win races with horses that didn't have a lot of ability, so had a great grounding.
While his impressive achievements tell their own story of quiet self-belief, Weiry is someone who could never be accused of talking himself up.
Well, yeah, I suppose you've got to have self-belief. Yeah, we thought we had our, the way we were doing it was pretty good, but yeah, at times when you'd go to the races and you'd think that you'd have them fitting well and they'd run poorly, you certainly question yourself. But I think the most important thing is not change too much, because it'll turn around eventually. Well, in racing, you got to be, I suppose, given the opportunity, and then when you given the opportunity, you got to make the most of it. But you know, until you get given that opportunity, things can be a bit tight at home money-wise, and yeah, it's not easy. But we were lucky enough that we tried a few young horses, and a couple of the young ones happened to turn out all right. And you know, one of them was She's Archie, which came along at a really important time of our career, not only to attract new horses, but it was more that, you know, her winning the Oaks and then running second in the Cup. It was the 10% for the trainer that was the important part.
Another big factor behind his success is the terrific team he has built up, and he continually acknowledges and emphasises their contribution.
A stable as big as that we have, you know, you need to have great people in the right positions, and we've been lucky enough over the years to get some good people working for us, from you know, foremans to racing managers to track riders to truck drivers and everything. So they're all a massive part of the success, because you know, you obviously can't do everything yourself. So you know, I can't thank them enough for what they do. Look, what we've found with our staff over the last sort of 3 or 4 years with the success building, they get as much enjoyment out of as what I do, and I think it's great. You know, and it means that they're very dedicated to their work. So that really inspires me a lot. That does.
Darren, with his staff, he does. He gives everyone the opportunity to grow. You know, he looks after the staff, even if they mightn't be the quickest of people, but as long as they're showing, you know, they're showing they're having a go and they're willing, and they take pride in what they do, you know, they've got a job here for life.
In an industry where bloodlines are spoken of in hushed tones and mean big money, Weiry's early successes came with farm-bred horses like Skew If and She's Archie, neither of which came with a big pedigree or big price tag.
Oh, Skew If and She's Archie got a really soft spot in my heart. You know, they were two horses that come along at a very important time of my training career, obviously to attract new owners, but more importantly for the finances, because we were battling a little bit then. And you know, Skew If, you know, she won a couple of Group 3s and a Group 2, I think, and was placed in an Emirates, so she was a really good horse. You know, got beaten head to head in the Emirates, and raced for quite a long time, number of seasons, which was, you know, great to be racing in the better races. And then obviously with She's Archie, she was just a great horse in every way. She won an Oaks in Adelaide as a 3-year-old, and then got really sick and overcome that to come back and win a stock stakes and then run second in the Melbourne Cup. So, you know, they're the sort of horses that trainers dream of, really. Yeah, when I started training, you know, I had this sort of dream that you know, obviously I had sort of four races that I wanted to win. I was very keen to win a stall cup, because that was where I started my training career, and then obviously from stall I've come to Ballarat, and that was the next sort of race on the agenda, to try and win the Ballarat Cup. And obviously being a country boy and living in a small town called Berriwillock, which is very close to Swan Hill, so that was sort of like our local racetrack. I was very keen to win that as well, and we've been lucky enough to win all those 3, and obviously the big one's still to come. You know, our dream is to try and win a Melbourne Cup, so that's the race that we've got our sights set on at some stage, hopefully in the near future. The country people that are involved in racing, they're very passionate about it. You know, they, you know, you go to those country clubs, you know, all the committees, they work for nothing. They, you know, they love their country clubs, and you know, the cup days at those sort of places, they're just great fun. And yeah, to be honest, I'd sooner go to a country cup, you know, up in the Wimmera area than nearly a race meeting on Saturday in Melbourne. I just like the atmosphere of it all, and generally, obviously, growing up in the country, I just, you know, although there's nothing wrong with the city people, I just like the way country people are at the races.
Many people who know Darren speak of his uncanny ability to understand where a horse is in its preparation and how it is performing against its potential, knowing when it might give more on a race day or when its track work times are acceptable. If there is one area that is viewed as a black art in the racing world, it is the ability to bring horses back from injury and to keep horses that have a weakness healthy and running well. While Darren himself would typically say he isn't the only trainer to do this, his ability in this area is fast becoming a trademark.
The straight track's just an unbelievable asset for us. You know, the most important, there's two important things about it, is you don't have to deviate your worksheet, whatever you write them down to do the day before. The weather doesn't affect it. You can gallop horses here 365 days a year. You get the same surface. And also it's great for the soundness of a horse. We've found that, you know, it's probably cut our vet bill by half for sure. We just don't seem to get as much soundness issues, and it's got to be because of the straight line, and obviously you don't have to go quite as quick when you're working uphill, so it's just an unbelievable asset for us. The location of Ballarat's great for a trainer because you sort of, a couple of hours and you're at any sort of race course you want to be. You know, you can go to Warwick, Nabil if you just want to, you know, educate a younger horse, or you're only 2 hours to places like Sandown and Caulfield, and an hour and a half to Moonee Valley and Flemington. So the location in general is great at Ballarat.
By any standards, Darren Weir's career has been stellar, but also steady. While there is no doubt about where he has been, this quiet achiever and his horse-by-horse focus does not look like ending anytime soon. Darren Weir has not only achieved the classic Aussie racing dream, but has done so in a very Australian way. Humble beginnings, hands-on, listening, learning, doing things differently, and with praise for everyone except himself. The Darren Weir story is a reminder that for all the glitz, the heart of racing still beats strongest in the calluses and the dreams of the country people who live for horses. Time where money sometimes seems to be everything, it's a reminder that passion, hard work and talent are still enough to get you there.
It's great to be up there with those, certainly have your name up there with those great trainers, because they've been, you know, obviously the Hayes and the Friedman name's been terrific in racing for a long time, and then, you know, over the last 3 or 4 years, you know, Moody's dominated it. So it's nice to have your name up there in amongst the better ones. I just love racing. Whether it's in the country or the city, if you train a winner, you get the same buzz. I just love the racing people. I love what you know, the whole industry just in general, from the horses to the carnivals, and also to the nights out at the carnivals. They're great fun.
As country racing people, we love the way you have stayed true to yourself and your country values. You have given us a lot to be proud of. We are confident that neither this nor your record of success will change anytime soon. Congratulations, Weiry.